Hello, everyone, and welcome to Nails and Beauty Talk. I am your host, Asia the Bird. To have a very special guest with me today. She's a press-on nail artist. Please welcome Kiara. Hello, Kiara, and welcome to the show.
Hello, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. It's great to have you. So I definitely want to get started by asking where are you from? How'd you get started doing press-on nails?
Well, I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, and I actually got started during the quarantine boom. So, yeah, I was just laying down one day, down and out. I was in classes and I wasn't really doing much, and I wasn't doing well with my photography because it was raining and I like natural light and stuff. It was just the whole ordeal. And my ex at the time was
Right.
like, "We'll make a list of things that you need for all your photo shoots," and I was like, "I need nails." And then I went on this huge splurge and I started making nails. Yeah.
All right, yeah, that's really, really cool. Now, who are like some of like your favorite like nail artists or press-on nail artists that you look up to?
Well, I have a couple, especially since they're all in my kind of like circle. We're still mutuals on Instagram.
Right.
But I know for sure one of my absolute favorites are Gels by Kiko.
Mhm.
They're so great. I love Finger Paints nail art. I love G9 Studio. The Devil Wears Press-Ons and Hot Nails 666 420. They're all really, really cool.
Yeah, yeah, that's really, really cool. Yeah, hot nails, they do like very conceptual nail,
Yeah,
like the
I'm
phone,
looking.
cell phones.
What? No, you didn't. That's crazy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That
That's really
is really,
cool.
really cool. Like her stuff is really, really cool. I think her name is Olivia. She does
Yeah,
like very cool conceptual art.
they're real crazy.
Yeah, same with like you got ball pit nails. You have nails by Dev who does very great, wonderful artwork on nails. It's
Mhm.
really cool just how much like there's so much diversity in the artistry of it.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like, wow, I can't believe we're all coming up with all these crazy things on figures. Like, what?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, right, exactly. Like the possibilities are endless. But I
Mm.
also want to get into as well, like how did you first get started into doing like press-ons? Like what's been the journey like having a press on nail business?
Well, I initially didn't want to sell any of them. I wanted to make them for myself. And I actually had friends at the time that were like, "No, you need to get into selling. You need to sell these. You need to logo. You need to." So like, I
Right.
basically got peer pressure into selling on Etsy. My friend had mentioned Etsy. She's like, "Start on Etsy. That's what they do all the time. Girls be doing stuff on Etsy all the time." And I was like, "Okay." So I started initially not really, almost caring because it was just like I was too nervous. I just started. It was only in like
Right.
a couple of months into it, and it was only until a year after, almost actually a little under a year after I started selling on Etsy, where I actually started to take it seriously. Like I
Right.
didn't just send it in like the little jewelry boxes and like the nail glue. Like I actually started like think about the packaging or like the stickers or anything like that. So the journey's been pretty. It's been pretty cool. It got wild out of nowhere last year, but other than that, it's been pretty I mean, it's coasting. It's like, people are nice. They're like, "Oh, she's the nail girl." It's like, no, I take pictures too. I just haven't been able to take them. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really, really cool. Now, do you do like ready-mades or do you like pretty much do by custom, by
um,
request?
I've always done custom. I've always done made to order. I've never been able to afford the ready-mades, like to be shipped out and stuff. Because like the whole sizing and stuff, it's just like I really like to like take my like sweet time on like the one set and that's it. But I have sent like a couple replacement sets because some of my clients are like accidentally mismeasured or something else wasn't right. And I'm like, okay, cool, let me fix that for you. So yeah, I've
Right.
always been really comfortable with made to order.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I'm doing like now in terms of made to order because I have some of my ready-mades on my Etsy. I'm
Hmm.
like, I ain't making no sales with these, but hopefully I'll still make a sale, hopefully.
No, yeah, like the algorithm on Etsy is crazy. I had to get out of
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, that's the thing, especially social media too. Like,
Mhm.
I want to get into that as well. So how have you been able to like use social media to like promote like your press on nail designs?
So, I mostly started to go viral initially because I'm a photographer slash model dancer, so I'd be doing like crazy poses, and
Right.
I started to go viral last year because I took pictures of all the sets I had made up to date on my
Mhm.
glass table that I actually have my laptop on right now.
Right.
Um, but taking pictures of all of them together, I think I got a like 10,000 likes on a tweet for that, and like everybody
Um,
just started to like know me as like the nail girl on Twitter, and I was like,
mhm.
crap, okay, so that's what I'm known as on Twitter. Now I have to keep posting nails. So Twitter was my main outlet, and I was still on Etsy at that time. So this was around, I started posting my nails August. October. No, I would probably be September, October, November of 2020, and then
Right.
I've been continuously posting them out here and there since then. Um,
Right.
but yeah, and then I haven't moved off Etsy until like this past March, April. So yeah,
Mhm.
everybody knows me as the girl on Etsy pretty much, and I'm like, I'm actually off Etsy. I'm like on my own site now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, right, exactly. Now, with some of your press-on nails, do you come up like how do you come with like some of the designs? Like, do you sketch them out or do you like,
um,
you
I
know, like
actually have a couple here that I have sketched out, and for the most part, I realized I was like, wow, I don't do that. I only think of the concept. I put actually have like me and my boyfriend have like a shared note together where I put
Yeah,
all the concepts that I'm thinking of randomly, and then I'll sit at the table and then just do it. Um,
right,
I have like these. Well, these are like older, but these are pinned on my profile. These are like a makeshift set from Solo Saint. But these I sketched out. I absolutely had to sketch these out because I was picking my concepts out from a piece.
right.
But stuff like this, like these, I was really proud of. I didn't even remember finishing these. But like my brain stuff, like this stuff, I just like sat at the table and just like slapped
That's
them
really cool.
together. Yeah. And like, these were for my skate shoot. These were ones that actually went super viral before. No, I still had an Etsy. They went super viral on December 2020. That's what it was. Or November actually. But these, I didn't sketch these. I just sat at the table for like hours. Oh my god, these took so long because I didn't know what I wanted to do. But
Right.
yeah, they take a really long time because I sit there, I'm like, do with this yet.
Yeah, right, exactly. Like, I'm kinda like that too. I just take my time planning. Sometimes I don't plan at all,
Yeah.
and it's like, I just gotta do freestyle and like
Mhm.
just roll
It's
with it as I go.
the raw thoughts are always the best when you're sitting there at the table.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
Now, like what draws like inspiration in terms of like, your press on nail concepts?
Um, well, recently, actually, most of my inspirations have been like color combinations that I'll see that I really like, and I'll take a picture of that and save it
Right.
in my some album that I have in my camera roll, whatever that may be.
Mhm.
But for the past few months, like stuff like this that I came up with, like I was just like really obsessed with like anatomy for a
Yeah,
while. And I have the obsession of like taking something that's real life and putting it on a finger. So something like that where I'm like, I'll see a car and I'm like, I want to put that on a nail.
right.
It's like I don't know why, but that's usually what I'll do is see like color schemes or just like something where I feel like I could just carve that onto a nail. I feel like I could. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, right, exactly. And I've seen that set before with the nose and the two was like cigarettes?
Yeah, cigarettes, and then the other hand was actually blunts.
Yeah,
They were
yeah.
actually blunts, so it was
Yeah, I
pretty
thought that
cool.
set was like very, very interesting and very like conceptual. And that's what I like about your work because it's like very, very like conceptual, but I feel like it has some sort of connection with like maybe like social issues and things like that. Is that like your intention, like social
Um,
issues or like life stuff?
I mean, I'm a contemporary dancer, so I've always been seeing things. I just like to I do my nails as fun as possible, and a lot
Right.
of people see that as a little bit more childlike or too much, and I don't really care what
Yeah.
other people like may or may not think how much they may be. So basically, what I'll aim for, yeah, is like how fun can I make these? So I
Right.
think it's like a matter of like I want to make these as fun as possible. That's probably what I'll the word conceptualize. That's what I could probably put it as. I just like to
Mm.
make things as fun as possible.
Yeah, yeah, right, exactly. I
Yeah.
think the matter is like as long as you have creative freedom, as long as it makes you happy, then that's all that matters.
Exactly. Yeah.
So everybody's style is different in terms of artistry. So, but I also want to get into as well as pricing. So, how have you been able to like price your press-ons possibly? What's the journey been like with that?
So when I initially started selling, I was mortified to even sell in the first place. I was more on like the $30, $40 range, especially since I started on Etsy. Because Etsy, for some reason, is skewed and they just diminish the labor of making nails. And it's hard to do nails. Like you sit at the table,
Right.
your back hurts, your neck hurts. It's not worth $19.99 for whatever set you're selling where you took like 4 hours to paint that. So I was a little
Yeah.
scared to charge what I was charging at first. And then after a while, I was actually my first sets included like this encapsulated like flower look. It was like all builder gel, all of that. It was so time consuming.
Right.
And this like gold like embellishment 3D situation where it was like called
Mhm.
bling bling or something. Those are my main sellers. And I closed my shop for a little bit in 2021 in like June. And when I reopened it, I came back with the more $60 to almost $80 range because I was like thinking to myself during that break, like, that's not worth it. Like you have to charge a decent amount for the supplies, the labor, the time to even like take your time out of the day
Right.
to like do that stuff. Like that's almost as much as I'm charging the same thing as what the nail salons usually charge. How is that
Right.
different? It's a lot of work. So I've
Mm.
stood on my pricing. I know I looked a little bit crazy on Etsy charging $60 to $80 per set, but it's like, come on, I'm carving an eye on a nail. What do you want that for $10? That's not gonna happen. It's not, it just can't. So yeah, I've always stood on that.
Yeah, yeah, right, exactly. And I do agree wholeheartedly because the thing is, people don't realize how much time it takes. Like how you said before, it could be 4 hours or way longer, a couple
Mhm.
days to do a whole set.
A
So
whole
it's like, yeah, just one set by itself. So it's like
Mhm.
you gotta understand the labor, the time, the products ain't cheap. It's
It's
real expensive. Yeah. Yeah, like, that's the thing, like, people have to understand that, like, clients, have to understand those things, like, it's not gonna be $30, $40. It
Mhm.
may be at the hundreds, the 200s, the 300s,
Oh,
like
really? Like that's the time that these things be taken. Like, come
right.
on. Yeah.
If you look at, like, if you look at Viv's shoe or if you
Mhm.
look at ball pit nails,
Mhm.
they're gonna charge $200, $300 for a
Yeah.
set because it's all hand painted.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like, I mean, I'm a little timid about like, I'm a little timid. The only reason I would start spiking up the prices a little bit more
Mhm.
is if I'm doing a collaboration, which I actually am,
Right.
very soon. Like these new ones that I just made, they're kind of on crooked, but my Solo Saint kind of collection.
That's really cool.
Thank you. These are gonna be more on the higher ends because it's a collaboration. Now I gotta get another
Right.
artist into it. Now we gotta make sure both of us are getting what we're supposed to be getting. Like it's just there's a lot that goes into just they're not just nails. They're a
Right.
lot more than that, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
So
exactly. That's the thing that people have to understand.
mhm,
If you're able to buy like 100 pairs, $100 pair of shoes,
mhm.
it's like, you should be able to afford these press-ons. Like this is just as much of a luxury as anything else. I also want to get into
Exactly.
as well
So
as like the packaging. So how have you been able to like, what's your whole style of packaging in terms of like the press-ons?
well, like I said, when I first started out, I used to just send it in a little jewelry box and like put it on the nail display sticks with the nail tape, stuff like that. And then I actually sat down for a second and was like, I want to rebrand. I hate my like nail name because I wasn't nailed in the brain forever. I actually started out with Kiara X nails, and then it turned into the worst name ever, ADH does nails, which was like nobody wants to read that because my actual username was ADHD, which like the 888 whatever. I was like, I don't like that. So I sat down and was like, I like the name nailed in the brain. And since my brand is initially like trying to like I have a lot, like, I take medication. This is sort of that. I take medication. We almost a lot of people do. And I was like, nails in the brain is a good way to stem off of ADHD. So I was like, how do I make it look like a prescription? My boxes kind of look like over the counter, like prescription kind of nails.
Mhm.
So I've had a couple of clients be all giddy when they get their stuff and they'll take pictures and post it on Twitter, be like, just got my prescription. I'm like, oh, that's so cute, so excited.
Right.
Medical bottle that I have with the oil is just like rejuvenating. You know how oil kind of brings things back to life. So I was excited to put the oil in there, the nail
Yeah.
file and stuff. Um, the prep kits, I literally just put them in a little iridescent package. That's something a lot of people do. I just think it's convenient. But the little nail cards that I actually do, I make those myself. I print out the paper, I laminate it, I cut it out, blah, blah, blah. I actually made the background of it on my phone in like this app. And it's just supposed to look like a daily like pill planner, but it's a nail planner. So
Okay.
yeah. So and then my uh, label on the outside, I actually redid that twice, but it's like a spiral and like it says like mind controlled substance. Inside of it says nailed in the brain. So I just and then on the corner of it is like there's so many details and all of it. I want it to look like disorienting almost because it's like medication, but like
Right.
more like the substance. I don't know. You know, there's a lot of thought going into it. And then on the corner where it says 40 mg, that's actually the milligrams that I take in medication. So I just put 40 mg on there to just for funsies. So yeah, there was a lot of thought in my packaging.
Yeah, right, exactly. But I also want to get into in terms of shipping. Do you plan on down the line possibly shipping internationally, possibly, or just
So
staying in the US?
I initially started out not shipping internationally, but I ship a little bit overseas. Like I have a couple of regulars that are overseas.
Right.
I think I started to do that maybe 8 months ago, I'm thinking. At first I was scared too because I didn't want the nails to like either get lost, break, anything like that when shipping overseas. But as long as you double tape like the packaging, make sure everything's good, like it's pretty okay. And then when you get the there's some number that you have to put in the shipping label that classifies what it is. I always put under plastics or anything like that. Or like I put like acrylic nails in the label for like customs.
Right.
It's like a customs number. But other than that, I was timid, but like I do it. I don't get as often overseas clients, but I do have one or two regulars. So yeah, it's scary, but we can all do it's doable.
Yeah, right, exactly. Now, what's like some like your favorite like nail products to use when doing like the press on nails?
Well, I would say probably nail putty, like the carving gel. That's been my
Yeah.
favorite ever since I really started to get comfortable with nails. It's just the idea of making anything 3D on a nail has always just amazed me. So I mean, there's no doubt that carving gel has been my favorite product to use since I really started to
Mhm.
get into press on. So and that's like with
Yeah.
the swirls and brains and noses and teeth.
Right. Yeah, same with me. I love the carbon gel. The 40 gel, you can it's like it's so much easier than acrylic because you can play with it all day long. Like acrylic, it just you play with it for a certain amount of time and it sets.
Mhm.
So like definitely carbon gel, like gel polish. That's my go-to.
Yeah, all of that. That's fun.
Yeah, most definitely. Now, what are some pieces of advice, that you would give for people that are first starting their press-on nail brand?
um, know who started what, and don't be afraid to extend your brand of whatever you're trying to do. Also, don't be scared of anyone who may be a veteran in the press on nail business.
Yeah,
Um, it's really strange how catty and intimidating people try to be, and it's like what? It's what? Okay, it's fine. Just don't be afraid of anybody who's already been in the nail business. If anybody has done a concept before and it was really big, make sure you pay homage.
right.
And yeah, that's what I could say.
That's the thing because I think giving credit is most definitely important, especially art in general.
Mhm.
Like give people credit, what they're due, especially if you got an idea from somebody. You
And it's
know,
obvious as well.
yeah, yeah. That's the thing too. So definitely giving people credit, but also especially copyright and trademarking is very, very important as
Mhm.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. But in terms of within the press on nail business, like what are some things that have stood out to you being a part of the community?
Hmm. I don't know. I don't really talk to many people. I mean, my close circle, I don't really, I'm not in constant communication with most of my like nail circle. Um, I would not know personally. I literally just sell press-ons. I don't really indulge too deeply because I'm already into so many other things. It's not like I don't like care. It's just like I'm trying to like invest in this thing and then invest in that
Right.
thing. And I feel like that's not bad. I feel like
Mhm.
we're all at this age where we're allowed to do whatever we want, however many things we want at a time.
Right.
So I would not know. Other than everybody does one trend for like 3 months and I'm like seeing it all over my feed and I'm like,
Right.
okay, this is the trend.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like a lot of people are doing like the same thing, like with the 3D swirls and the chrome and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But I like also too how with press on nails, it's getting more conceptualized. That's I
Mhm.
like, about like especially with your work because it's totally different from what everybody else is doing.
Thank you. That is a very reaffirming thing to say. Reassuring. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. So that's the thing. Like, of course, like it's cool to have some of the nail trends, but it's when it's something that's out the box and something different. I think that's what people can engage with you more in terms of that because it stands out from everybody else.
That's nice. I would hope so.
Yeah, 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 absolutely. But also, too, I definitely want to get into as well as with the popularity and the growth of press-ons. Do you feel like it's here to stay, or do you think eventually it'll die down due to the fact of stuff reopening,
Mhm.
especially people getting their nails done, in nail salons?
I unfortunately probably do think that it may not be as active in like a certain age group. Like, once people start hitting their mid 20s, late 20s, people are going
Right.
to start, people like the idea of being mature, even though that doesn't, it's besides the point. But I do think that other people are going to get older and be like, you know what, I want to wear press ons. So I think there's always going to be a market for press ons. There's always going to be a crazy person out there that wants to
Mhm.
wear crazy nails. There's always going to be a more laid back person that wants to wear some more like chill nails. Like there's always going to be somebody out there. There's so many people, so much money out there. There's money for everyone. I just feel like the market is always going to be there and you just have to find it. I
Yeah,
think
right.
it'll probably be a little harder to find, but that's the only discouragement I'd have on press on nails.
Yeah, that's the thing
Mhm.
because, like it's so much it's plenty for everybody. It's room for everybody to jump in and to really, get acclimated into the business of press-ons. And it's just like what makes you stand out. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing with that, especially to understand how to market yourself, how to sell your press ons and things like that. And especially with pricing too. Like I'm still working on that as well. Like you don't want to go too high, you don't want to sell yourself too low. You want to
Yeah.
stand within your value.
I feel like you can definitely feel when you're selling yourself too low though.
Yeah.
Like when you sit at the bed after just finishing an order and you just send it out and like you hear like the room ringing and you're just like, maybe I should charge a little bit more. I'm a
Yeah,
little
yeah.
tired. Like that's where it gets a little like I'm kind of selling myself a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Now, how do you find the balance between like in terms of giving people what they want versus having creative freedom in your perspective, possibly?
um well, I usually try and open up my custom like requests because I usually do all my designs. I just post them and then you can like they're all uploaded on my website and you can
Right.
choose which shape or length that you desire. I don't really take personal requests as often unless somebody has like a big dream, like they want this, they want that, they want this, they want that, and that, and
Right.
that. And
Exactly.
I'm getting a lot more comfortable with my own originality where I can actually get to the point and be like, yeah, I can take that and try and make something really cool out of it. And I think they'll like it.
Right.
At first, though, I was not very open to taking requests just because
Right.
it's like a lack of confidence in whether I could actually make something that they'll like. Because I can make something I like, but will they?
Yeah.
So requests have been at a minimum, yeah. But I mean, I'm starting to take a little bit more, especially since I have more time on my hands. So yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah. That's the thing. Now, how often do you like open or close in terms of customs? Like how often is it like twice a year or is it like all
Um,
year long you keep open?
I don't really have a formal set for that just yet. I'm actually working on that. But right now I'm taking, I think, 2 or 3. I'm depending on when I get that response from this other person. But
Right.
I'm probably going to take 1 or 2 a month, maybe. Like it's like the frequency is still not determined yet, depending on my comfort and time.
Mhm.
But I usually take them when I'm ready. Like that's at this point, that's what I've been doing. I take them when I'm ready. People are
Right.
very kind about it. They're like, "Oh, thank you so much." I'm really excited. I'm like, "No problem." Like, "Thank you for asking me." Like, I feel honored. Like,
Mhm.
so yeah, it's really basically at first it's when I want, but I'm establishing a frequency now. So when people would like to have some, they could have more structure and when to request them.
Okay, cool, cool. Now, what's next for you, possibly?
Um, Well, I just finally moved in my first place with my
Cool.
significant other. I'm finally not in a toxic household, so I can actually think straight. I have a lot more time on my hands. So
Right.
collaborations in nails for sure with other artists. I definitely can't wait to buy all my mutuals on Twitter's products. They all have clothes and prints and hats and swimsuits and stuff. I'm ready to wear all of their stuff. I'm so excited.
Right.
More photo shoots for sure, just more content in general. A whole makeover, because I know you're looking at me with this like tri-color hairdo right now. I was supposed to
Yeah.
do my hair this morning, but I didn't get around to doing it because I had other things prepared for. But yeah,
Right.
maybe even a clothing, like a small clothing line, because I'm just starting. You know, I try to be
Right.
a little safe with myself. I don't want to like jump into so many things, but
Right.
dabbling in a lot of things. Yeah, jewelry, fashion, continuing with dancing, continuing with modeling, photography, all that stuff. And of course, nails. And it's always fun to be my own entourage. So yeah,
Mhm.
a lot of things. A lot of things.
Yeah, yeah, right, exactly. And that's really cool and interesting that you're very like multifaceted in art, because like with dance and with nails, that all pans into like that whole umbrella of art. And so I
Mhm.
definitely want to ask, like, in terms of like balancing those things, those hobbies, the things that you do, especially having a personal nail business, like how have you been able to be like how have you been able to balance between being a personal nail artist and just everyday life and other things that you're interested in?
I don't even know. I have no idea how I even managed to get. I think the only thing I've been able to balance it with is I have to do this because it's a part of my big picture. And
Right,
if I don't do that, then I'm lacking in my big picture. So I started nails because I needed some for my photo shoots, and they
right,
became very important for my photo shoots. And I was like, oh snap, I like actually enjoy this. like
right, right,
I like this. So if I need it for a bigger picture, then it's got to stay. Like for dance, I have to go to the gym. I got to do myself my personal ballet bars to make sure I can get these cool contorted poses going. Like uh,
right,
for clothing, I have to make sure if I'm gonna make it, I need to make it for like a really big like abstract photo shoot at like my boyfriend's farm or something like that. Like it's all for like my own personal entourage. Like I have to keep it
right.
up for like that pretty much.
Yeah, right, exactly. Last but not least, where can people find you on social media and how can people support you and what you do?
Well, I am on Instagram. Almost everybody's on Instagram. Um,
Right,
I am on Twitter. I'm not as active on Twitter for my nail page, but I am on Twitter. And I'm also on TikTok, which I'm starting to be more active on now that I have more time and more time to live out my ideas and stuff.
right,
So excuse me. Both my Instagram and TikTok tags are nailed in the brain. And then my Twitter tag is actually a little different. It's excuse me, mental nail sanity. Because nailed on the brain was too long apparently. It's nail sanity without the e in mental. That's literally it. And all
mhm,
my other socials are just ADHD on TikTok and Twitter, Instagram. I might get into a YouTube account. I'm not sure. Uh,
right.
I mean, my boyfriend's been encouraging me, saying, "You know what? You need to get comfortable behind the camera and make a YouTube account." I'm like, "Okay, I'll do that." But yeah, I'm just mostly on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter as of right this very second.
All right, cool, cool. Well, thank you so much, Kiara, for jumping onto the show. Your work is absolutely cool and keep up the amazing work. This has been fun. I really enjoyed myself. Thank you.
Thank you so much. You too. I'm glad to speak.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to click the bell for notifications. Also, follow me on my social media platforms and visit my website, ASIATHABIRD.com, and be on the lookout for more interviews to come very soon. Take care and stay